Hello, everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beasts, episode 2 of Insects and Arachnids Only. So, in the last episode, we had the debut battle of one beast versus another. If you've seen the video, you know who won. And now we got another one. So, this is the second battle of the Insects and Arachnids Only tournament, and this one I would say is probably the worst fight of round one, but I would say still a good one regardless. So with that, let's introduce the competitors. Representing Series 3, we have Sting the Scorpion Man. And representing the group of the pair of specials, we have Skolo the Bladed Monster. So with that, we know what these beasts are capable of. Well, do we actually know what these beasts are capable of? They didn't last long in their previous tournaments. I'm getting reminded. Let's get to the stats. Starting off with Sting the Scorpion Man. Sting was created by the dark wizard Malvel. The beast lived in the terrifying dark tunnels beneath Malvel's Gorgonian castle. Tom and Eleanor were attacked by Sting's giant pincers in a crumbling chamber from which they only just managed to escape. Age 15, power 248, magic level 162, fright factor 71, size 100. Powers and abilities: natural armor, natural weaponry, enhanced strength, speech, and equipment is the sword, and also the purple jewel. Sting is the only beast of Gorgonia to wield his jewel in battle. He uses the purple jewel situated in his tail to cut through rock with ease. Weaknesses: human parts. So yeah, his head is vulnerable to literally a lot of attacks. And tail removal. Sting's tail can be cut off. So we know the stats about Sting, but can we learn about the stats of Skolo, please? And now we're on Skolo the Bladed Monster. If it had not been for Avantia's ruler, King Hugo, being infected with the rare deadly Scolodine poison, Tom would not have to venture into the dark moor caves in search of an antidote, and it is possible that this giant steel-winged centipede beast would have remained unseen in her lair for many, many years. Age 392, power 285, magic level 183, fright factor 94, size 297. Powers and abilities: adhesive breath. Skolo can fire purple adhesive from her mouth which binds her prey. Natural weaponry. She has 6 blade-like wings made of a natural metallic substance, which she uses in combat, but she can't fly with them. She also has an inner pincer-like claw in her mouth that can extend and grab opponents. And she also has a likely immunity to her Scolodine poison. To the Scolodine poison due to living in the same place it is produced. Okay. Weaknesses: cannot fit in small spaces. Okay. That's all right then. Okay. But with that, let's get to the battle. And with that, we're now at the battle. So this battle is going to be you know what, I'm going to go with it, the Rocky Terrain Arena. Yeah, we're bringing back the classic one, especially after a luscious battlefield from the last battle. Now we're going to the normal rocky terrain, of course. So yeah, with that, Sting versus Skolo. Let's get into this. So as the chamber doors open, both beasts scuttle out of their chambers, and they instantly make eye contact with each other. Sting immediately lunges for Skolo, with his sword at the ready. Skolo, not wasting any time, shoots out her adhesive. I'm gonna call it I don't know what to call it. The goo. Yeah, goo. We'll call it goo. Skolo shoots out goo and towards the floor, which Sting runs directly on, where his legs are suddenly stuck to the goo. Sting, not missing a beat though, uses his tail and slams it into the ground below, made of rock, obviously, in which a portal opens up and he falls through and appears on the other side of the arena. Skolo, caught off guard by this, sees that Sting is now completely free and able to move around. Skolo charges up towards Sting, waving around each rock, trying to confuse Sting. And then Skolo towers up above Sting, quite a large size difference, might I add, and then folds down into him, pushing Sting towards the ground as he's using his pincer to push Skolo back and tries to stab at Skolo's armor. It doesn't seem to be working though. Well, Skolo's body, which is durable. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be working. Sting moves his sword and stabs for the underbelly, which seems to impale Skolo as Skolo lets out a shrill screech, as Skolo then bites down onto Sting's shoulder, which is part scorpion. Sting feels this and grunts in pain as he withdraws the sword and stabs Skolo again in another place in her underbelly. Skolo, roaring in pain again, reels back and lunges for Sting as Sting goes to slash at Skolo's head. Skolo dodges the sword blow and grabs Sting's sword with her mouth and yanks it out of Sting's grip as she chucks it to the other side of the arena. Sting laughs as he uses his tail, stabs it into the ground again for another portal to open, and Sting appears right next to the sword where he is able to grab it again as Skolo charges towards Sting. Skolo wraps herself around Sting, circling around him as Sting is steadily waiting for Skolo to lunge for him. While Sting is paying attention to Skolo's head, he fails to notice that Skolo's tail is making its way directly towards Sting, where Skolo's tail wraps itself around Sting's tail and body, binding his tail together, in which Skolo then shoots a goo towards Sting's tail, which binds it to Sting's back. Skolo releases his grip off Sting as Sting is trying to use his sword to cut through it, but Skolo, not allowing that to happen, bites down onto the sword again and yanks it from its grip again and chucks it to the other side of the arena. Sting is trying to use his pincers now to get through the goo, but Skolo just shoots another spray of goo at each pincer, sealing them shut, and then shoots it towards the ground again, making Sting trapped into the ground, towards the ground. Sting, completely immobile now, stares up at the looming tower that is Skolo, as Skolo folds down into Sting, forcing him into the ground, causing his entire lower body to be stuck to the ground, as Skolo then bites towards Sting's head. Sting lets out a roar of pain as the fangs seep into his head. Skolo releases her grip off of Sting, just see blood gushing from his head, Sting's head, as it goes down his body. Sting tries to get up to fight, but is completely immobile. Skolo laughs and decides that she should put Sting out of his misery, in which she makes his way up to Sting, and then very violently turns her whole body, causing the three wings on one side of Skolo's body to just slash right through Sting's armor, slicing at his lower chest, his upper chest, and his neck. As soon as all blades went through Sting just seems to be stood there in absolute shock as the head rolls off, followed by the top part of the torso and the lower part of the torso falling forward as the rest of the body just slumps to the ground more than it already is. Skolo screeches in victory and makes her way back to her chamber, satisfied with the victory. So with that, Skolo has won, Sting has lost. If you think Sting should win, please comment below. I think that, however, my word's final and Skolo's moving on to the next round. So with this whole battle, it was a kind of obvious matchup, being honest, because of the immense size difference, the age difference, and also the fact that I have mentioned multiple times on my main channel that Sting is a recently transformed beast and does not have the experience of fighting as a scorpion, because he resorts to still using his sword. When a sword is taken from him, he won't know what to do with it. I made the most out of his purple jewel ability, but Skolo, being a cunning beast, will know that if she can make the tail unable to swing around as much, then Sting is pretty much trapped without being able to go through a portal. Sting tried to get the goo, cut his tail free with his sword or the pincer, but that still didn't work because Skolo is cunning enough to take any weapons away, bind him down to the ground where he's stuck in one spot, and then Skolo could just finish him off however she likes. And I think I chose a good way. A bit of a reference to Final Destination there as well, that was. But yeah, with that, that is the battle. Relatively obvious if you ask me, but like, come on. Like, Sting, we know his reputation when it comes to Battle of the Beast. It's not a great one. Skolo at least made it to round 2 in one tournament. I believe it's the All Generation tournament. So, yeah, okay. Sting, I doubt actually stood a chance. But with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.